Hey coin lovers and treasure hunters, welcome back to Global Coin News. Listen up, because what you're about to hear is going to shock a lot of coin collectors who think they already know everything about US currency. There is a wave of misinformation going around social media claiming that the Kennedy $1/2 is banned or suddenly pulled from circulation by the government. That is completely false. The Kennedy $1/2 is still legal US currency, still minted in special editions, and still highly collected around the world. But here's the real truth that does matter: certain Kennedy $1/2 are exploding in value, and if you ignore them, you could literally miss out on hundreds or even thousands of dollars. You might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it, so don't skip. Watch till the end. Hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell icon now, because the information we're about to uncover could change your collecting game forever. We are diving deep into history, rare mint marks, conditions, secrets, collector demand, market values in dollars, and tips that major collectors don't tell you. Let's jump in. Let's get started. First up, we're diving into a fascinating and often overlooked piece of American currency, the 1980 Kennedy $1/2 with the D mint mark. There's been growing buzz online, with claims about rare finds, rising values, and even rumors that these coins are being pulled from circulation. But what's real, what's hype, and what should collectors actually know? Let's uncover the truth behind this intriguing coin and why it continues to capture attention in today's market. The Kennedy $1/2 was first introduced in 1964, shortly after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It was created as a tribute to his legacy and quickly became one of the most emotionally significant coins in US history. By 1980, the coin was already well established in circulation, but it had undergone several changes since its debut. Originally made with 90% silver, the composition was reduced over time, and by 1971, the coins were struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition. The 1980 Kennedy $1/2 with the D mint mark was produced at the Denver Mint, which has long been responsible for a significant portion of circulating US coinage. The 1980 D Kennedy $1/2 carries several distinctive features that make it recognizable and collectible. On the obverse, you'll find a detailed portrait of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, capturing his strong profile. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro, displays the presidential seal, featuring a heraldic eagle with a shield, olive branch, and arrows. The D mint mark, located on the obverse side just below Kennedy's neck, indicates it was struck in Denver. The coin has a reeded edge and weighs approximately 11.34 grams. While millions were minted, subtle differences such as strike quality, luster, and preservation can make certain specimens stand out. The 1980 D Kennedy $1/2 is considered rare in general circulation because it had a relatively high mintage. However, rarity in coin collecting isn't just about how many were made, it's about how many have survived in top condition. Most of these coins were used in everyday transactions, meaning they often show signs of wear, scratches, or dullness. Coins that remain in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, especially those graded MS-65 or higher, are much more desirable to collectors. Additionally, coins with errors, such as off-center strikes or unusual die variations, can significantly increase in value. In terms of value, a typical circulated 1980 D Kennedy $1/2 is usually worth around its face value, about 50 cents, or slightly more depending on condition. However, coins in uncirculated condition can sell for anywhere from $180,000, and high-grade specimens certified by professional grading services may reach $250,000, or even higher in exceptional cases. Error coins, or those with unique characteristics, can command even more. As for the rumors about a government ban or these coins being removed from circulation, there is no official evidence to support that claim. These coins are still legal tender, and while they are less commonly used in daily transactions, they have not been banned. If you're interested in collecting Kennedy $1/2, the key is to pay attention to condition and authenticity. Look for coins with minimal wear, strong details, and original luster. Storing coins properly in protective holders can help preserve their quality over time. It's also wise to learn about grading standards or consult with professional services if you believe you have a high-value piece. Keep an eye out for mint errors or unusual features, as these can greatly increase a coin's worth. Most importantly, don't rush to sell or spend coins without first understanding their potential value. The 1980 Kennedy half-dollar may not be the rarest coin in existence, but it holds a unique place in numismatic history and continues to intrigue collectors. While viral claims about bans and massive values should be approached with caution, there's no denying that certain versions of this coin can be worth more than meets the eye. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, taking a closer look at your coins could lead to surprising discoveries. Sometimes, hidden value is sitting right in your pocket. You just need to know where to look. Next up, yes, we're talking about the 1992 Kennedy half-dollar with the P mint marker coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but hides a surprising story, rising collector demand, and shocking market potential. Some collectors are even calling it part of a quietly disappearing coin group, and rumors about restrictions and reduced circulation have made it even more exciting. So before you spend your half-dollars, you need to see this. The story of the Kennedy half-dollar begins in 1964, shortly after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The United States Mint released this coin to honor his legacy, and it quickly became one of the most iconic coins in American history. Over the years, the coin transitioned from being widely circulated to something people started saving rather than spending. By 1992, when this Philadelphia minted coin was produced, half-dollars were no longer commonly used in everyday transactions. Instead, they were quietly slipping into collections, bank vaults, and coin jars across the country. Now let's talk about what makes the 1992 P. Kennedy half-dollar special. This coin features a detailed portrait of President Kennedy on the front, designed by Gilroy Roberts, while the reverse displays the presidential seal, designed by Frank Gasparro. The P mint mark, located just below Kennedy's neck, indicates it was minted in Philadelphia. What collectors look for in this coin is not just the design, but its condition. A very fine condition coin still shows strong details in the hair and facial features, although there may be some light wear. The edges, lettering, and overall strike quality also play a huge role in determining its desirability. What truly drives attention toward this coin today is its rarity in higher grades and the growing belief that few of these coins remain in circulation. While millions were originally minted, most have either been lost, damaged, or stored away. Finding a 1992 P. Kennedy half-dollar in very fine or better condition is becoming harder over time. Collectors are especially interested in coins that have minimal scratches, strong luster, and clear mint marks. As demand increases and supply shrinks, even coins that were once considered common are now gaining serious attention in the collector market. When it comes to current market value, the 1992 P. Kennedy half-dollar can range significantly depending on its condition. In average circulated condition, it may only be worth a few dollars, but in very fine condition, it can reach anywhere from $165,000 or more. However, coins in near mint or uncirculated condition can jump much higher, sometimes reaching $2,450,000, $475,000, or beyond if graded professionally. There have even been cases where exceptional specimens or error coins tied to this year have sold for millions of dollars. This is why people are being warned not to casually spend these coins, because the right one could be hiding real value. For collectors and beginners, this is the perfect time to start paying attention. Always check the mint mark carefully and examine the coin under good lighting. Avoid cleaning your coins, as this can reduce their value significantly. Store them in protective holders to preserve their condition, and if you believe you have a high-quality piece, consider getting it graded by a professional service. The difference between a worn coin and a well-preserved one can mean a huge jump in value. Patience and knowledge are key in the world of coin collecting. The 1992 P. Kennedy half-dollar is no longer just a simple piece of change. It's becoming a collector's target with growing interest and potential value. With circulation decreasing and demand rising, this coin could be one of those hidden treasures sitting right in your pocket or at home. Next up, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark. is surrounded by rumors, confusion, and shocking claims about government actions and hidden value. Some people are even saying, "Don't spend these coins," claiming they are rare treasures secretly disappearing from circulation. But what is the real truth behind this coin, and should you actually hold on to it? Let's uncover everything you need to know. The story of the Kennedy half-dollar begins in 1964, shortly after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The coin was introduced as a tribute, and it quickly became one of the most iconic coins in American history. Initially made with 90% silver in 1964, and then reduced to 40% silver from 1965 to 1970, everything changed in 1971. That year marked a major shift, as the U.S. Mint completely removed silver from the half-dollar and introduced a copper-nickel-clad composition instead. This makes the 1971 issue historically important because it represents the beginning of the modern, non-silver era of the Kennedy half-dollar. Now let's talk about the specific coin that's creating so much buzz, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark. A missing mint mark might sound rare, but in this case, it simply means the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use mint marks on half-dollars at that time. This coin has some very distinct physical features. It weighs about 11.34 grams, has a diameter of around 30.6 millimeters, and is made of roughly 91.67% copper with a nickel outer layer. On the front, you'll see the detailed portrait of President Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, while the reverse shows the American eagle with a shield, created by Frank Gasparo. The edge of the coin is reeded, giving it that classic ridged appearance. While these features are standard, collectors pay close attention to strike quality, shine, and surface preservation. When it comes to rarity, this is where many people get misled. The 1971 no-mint mark half-dollar is actually extremely common, with over 155 million coins produced. In circulated condition, meaning coins that have been used in everyday transactions, most examples are only worth slightly above face value, typically around 60 cents to 75 cents. That means if your coin looks worn, scratched, or dull, it is likely not rare at all. However, condition is everything in coin collecting. High-grade uncirculated coins, especially those graded MS65 or higher, can jump significantly in value, and the rarest top-grade examples have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. Even more exciting are error coins, such as those accidentally struck on silver planchets or with striking mistakes. These can reach values up to $10,000 or more. Now let's address the big claim. Are these coins banned by the government today? The simple and honest answer is no. There is no official government ban on spending Kennedy half-dollars. These coins are still legal tender in the United States. However, they are rarely seen in daily circulation, which creates the illusion that they are disappearing or being pulled from use. In reality, most people simply save them instead of spending them, either because they like the design, believe they are valuable, or collect them as souvenirs. This behavior reduces their presence in everyday transactions, fueling rumors and viral claims online. Looking at current market value, the reality is more grounded but still interesting. A typical circulated 1971 no-mint mark coin is worth close to face value, but uncirculated coins can range from a few dollars up to $40 or more depending on quality. Exceptional high-grade coins, especially those graded MS67, can sell for $1,500 to $3,000, and rare error coins can go even higher. So while most coins are common, a tiny percentage are truly valuable, which is why collectors continue searching through rolls and old collections, hoping to find a hidden gem. For collectors, the best approach is to focus on quality and knowledge rather than hype. Always check your coins carefully under good lighting. Look for sharp details, minimal wear, and any unusual features like doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual coloration that might indicate an error. Consider having valuable-looking coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, because certified coins often sell for much higher prices. And most importantly, don't rely on viral claims or exaggerated headlines. Real value comes from condition, rarity, and verified demand in the collector market. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark is a fascinating coin with real historical importance. But it is not automatically rare or extremely valuable just because it lacks a mint mark. While most circulated examples are only worth a small premium over face value, certain high-grade or error versions can be worth significant money. There is no government ban, but the coin's decreasing circulation has helped create myths and excitement around it. So before you spend or save your coin, take a closer look. You might just have something special, but you might also just have 50 cents with a great story behind it. Next up, the United States Kennedy half-dollar is more than just a 50-cent coin. It is a powerful symbol of American history, national memory, and collector passion. Among its many years of production, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar without mint mark stands out in discussions among coin enthusiasts, not because it is officially banned or restricted, but because of the growing attention it receives in the collector market. We are diving deep into this coin's story, its design, its rarity perception, and why collectors continue to watch it closely in today's evolving numismatic market. To understand the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, we must go back to its origin. The Kennedy half-dollar series was first introduced in 1964, shortly after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963. The U.S. Mint created the coin as a national tribute, replacing the Franklin half-dollar. The design quickly became iconic, featuring President Kennedy's portrait on the obverse and the presidential seal on the reverse. By 1974, the coin was already a well-established part of American currency circulation, produced mainly for everyday use and collectors alike. The 1974 issue came during a time when silver content had already been removed from regular circulation strikes, meaning these coins were primarily copper-nickel clad. The features of the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar are simple but historically meaningful. On the front side, you see the left-facing portrait of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, with the word Liberty engraved above and the date, 1974, below. The motto, "In God We Trust," is placed prominently across the design. On the reverse side, designed by Frank Gasparro, the presidential eagle holds an olive branch and arrows, representing peace and strength. Above the eagle, you find the inscription United States of America, and below it, the denomination half-dollar. Coins without a mint mark typically indicate production at the Philadelphia Mint, which at the time did not always use a visible mint mark on circulation strikes. When it comes to rarity, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is not considered rare in terms of mintage numbers. Millions were produced, and many still exist today. However, what creates collector demand is not extreme rarity, but condition and preservation. Coins found in extremely high grades, such as mint state, MS-65 or above, are significantly more desirable. Because most of these coins entered circulation, finding one in very good condition today is less common than people assume. This is where collector interest grows, especially for coins that have sharp details, strong luster, and minimal wear. In terms of market value, most 1974 Kennedy half-dollars in average circulated condition are worth only face value or slightly above it. However, in very good condition or higher mint state grades, they can range from $625,000 to significantly more depending on quality and grading certification. Professionally graded top condition examples can sometimes reach higher collectible prices, especially if they exhibit exceptional eye appeal or rare minting characteristics. Still, it is important to understand that there is no official band, status, or million-dollar standard value attached to this coin in normal circulation. For collectors, the key tip is always preservation and authentication. Never clean a coin, as cleaning can reduce its value drastically. Always store coins in protective holders or coin flips to prevent environmental damage. If you believe you have a high-grade example, professional grading services can help determine its true market value. Another important tip is to study mint marks, strike quality, and surface condition carefully, because these small details often separate common coins from collectible ones. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar remains an interesting and historically important piece of American coinage. While it is not banned, ultra-rare, or extremely valuable in most cases, it continues to attract attention due to its connection with President Kennedy's legacy and its place in U.S. minting history. For collectors, its real value lies not in myths of government bans, but in condition, preservation, and historical significance. Next up, we are diving into one of the most talked about U.S. coins among collectors, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar without mint mark. Many people online claim that this coin is part of a government-banned coin list or that it has suddenly become illegal to spend, but that is not true. The United States has never banned the Kennedy half-dollar, and it is still legal tender today. However, what is true is that certain years, conditions, and varieties of this coin have become highly collectible, and that is where the real excitement begins. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, just months after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963. The U.S. Mint created this coin as a tribute to the late president, and it quickly became one of the most emotional and widely recognized coins in American history. By 1972, the design was already well established, featuring Kennedy's portrait on the front and the presidential seal on the back. The 1972 version was struck during a period when half-dollars were still produced for circulation, although most people were no longer using them in daily transactions. Now focusing on the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark, this simply means the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, as coins from that mint at the time typically did not carry a mint mark. The coin is composed of a copper-nickel-clad structure, giving it a silver-like appearance, but no actual silver content, unlike earlier 1964 versions. The design includes John F. Kennedy's profile on the obverse, with the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" clearly engraved. On the reverse, you can see the iconic presidential seal with a bold eagle holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. What makes this coin interesting to collectors is not just its design, but its condition and preservation. In circulated condition, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is very common and typically holds only face value. However, when found in excellent or uncirculated condition, especially with sharp details, full luster, and minimal contact marks, it becomes significantly more desirable. Coins that appear proof-like or have deep mirror finishes can attract even more attention from serious collectors. Rarity in this case does not come from the date alone, but from the condition and grading. A standard 1972 no-mint mark half-dollar is not rare in general, but high-grade examples graded MS-65 or above by professional grading services can become much harder to find. Collector demand increases when coins show strong eye appeal, original mint luster, and no signs of cleaning or damage. This is where values can begin to rise beyond typical expectations. In terms of current market value, most circulated 1972 Kennedy half-dollars are still worth around face value, meaning 50 cents to a few dollars at most. However, in excellent uncirculated condition, prices can range from around $185,000 to $200,000 depending on quality. If the coin is graded by a professional service and reaches higher mint state levels, some examples can sell for $300,000, $500,000, or occasionally more at auction. While it is not a million-dollar coin, certain top-condition pieces can still bring strong interest from collectors. For collectors, the key tip is always condition and authenticity. Never clean your coins, as cleaning can significantly reduce their value. Store them in protective holders or coin flips to preserve their original surface. It is also important to compare your coin with verified grading standards if you believe you have a high-quality example. Learning how to identify mint state features such as luster, strike quality, and surface preservation will help you avoid overestimating common coins. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar without mint mark is a fascinating piece of American coin history. While it is not rare in circulation, it becomes valuable when preserved in exceptional condition. The stories circulating online about bans or sudden extreme value are misleading, but the truth is still exciting for collectors. High-grade examples are appreciated, collectible, and can hold steady demand in the numismatic market. If you come across one in excellent condition, it is definitely worth taking a closer look rather than spending it casually. If you enjoyed this deep dive into classic US coinage, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts or questions in the comments below. Happy collecting, and I'll see you in the next video.